down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Down with OTC. Down with OTC.
Who is down with OTC, better known as on the chain? This is Chip, and that is, whoa, Jeff is not here yet. Jeff is on his way. Don't worry. Everyone's cool. It's cool. Be cool, my babies. That's what Conan used to always say. Be cool, my babies. So everything's going to work out okay. It's all going to be good. So we got a lot to take in tonight. Tonight, we're going to go into some more XRP news. The SEC is just, man, it's starting to turn into a clown show. It really is starting to look more and more like a clown show. And I'll be honest with you, I love every moment of it. I am just like, I'm enjoying every moment, popping corn, eating popcorn, all kinds of snacks, drawing drink, making drinky poos. It's just fantastic to watch. And the $2 trillion revolution is just getting started. And so are we. Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain with Jeff and Chip.
I was licking my digits, speedboat. You know what? Lick the digits, man, because, I'll tell you what's happening out there. It's just actually, what a fun time it is to be alive. I woke up this week thinking, man, looking at green, projects doing well. And it's interesting to see Bitcoin's dominance is right around 52% right now. It's kind of moving and shifting. And we have another possible predictor that happens once in a while in the charts. And what they say is it indicates a big move with Bitcoin. Now, the problem is they don't know if that means up or down, right? So I was just looking at this a few minutes ago. Doesn't mean up, Doesn't mean down, nobody really knows. But drop in the chat where you're from. I'll throw them up on the screen here as we go. But I like to see where everybody's coming in from. Drop your city, drop your country. And if you're watching this on the rewatch, drop that in the comments. Always love to see where everybody's coming in from, which is really cool. Bilal Ahmad says, what's happening, my dudes? Well, plenty's happening, my dudes. Plenty's going on. And XRP Sweden is in the house. Thank God. Yep. What's going on? Sweden in the house. Apex crypto T-minus 30 days until the settlement with Ripple. That's what he's calling for right there. We have James Rule XRP in the house. And James, big shout out to you today, man. I got to tell you, James is like, he's turning into this national treasure for crypto. He's like all things crypto. Helped me out with something. Pack note earlier today. Got into a little bit of like a what the heck is this thing? And he walked me right through it. David XRP too. Also, those two guys, very valuable community members. And I just want to say a big shout out, James. Appreciate that help today. And we have NC in the house in Utah. Yeah, two of my favorite YouTubers are from Utah, Trent and Allie. I watch them all the time. I've watched them since the early days. And they were testing out the Starlink, Elon Musk Starlink, because I think they were uploading videos and it was taking them like 3.5 hours to get up there. In the house from South Detroit. That's what remember Journey said, South Detroit, they called it. Was that Journey song that said that? Billy Bob. Yeah, Jeff and I also logged some time up in Ireland. Yeah, it's great to see where everybody is from because, we're down here in South Florida. It's good to get around in the world. But yeah, we'll get into some SEC stuff. Jeff will show up. I want to wait for him to get into that. But I thought what we jump into is a little bit of this right here. And hopefully my screen won't go so nutty crazy. Here we go, right here. So let's take a look at this story here. I'm going to pop this up. So JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon, Fintech is an enormous competitive threat to banks. Uh-oh, looks like somebody woke up out of their slumber. Mr. Bitcoin hater himself, who then turned into the JP Morgan coin, which then sold off the JPM coin, who now is telling us that it's a big threat. Well, here's a flash. We already knew that. So this is a brand new story. Where did this appear? And this was at CNBC. It's a section on CNBC. He says that fintech is this enormous threat. He said that banks are facing extensive competition from Silicon Valley, both in the form of fintechs and big tech companies like Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, Walmart, Diamond wrote, and that's here to stay. Well, I think we should maybe potentially do that one better is that, yes, those companies there, but I think he's missing the big picture. And it's not really Silicon Valley. Let's kind of correct the record there, right? This stuff is happening as a global exercise, right? There are fintechs in every corner of the world. Everywhere, every continent, every major continent, there is a revolution going on. And when I started this off with saying, same as in our title today, we teased, it's a $2 trillion revolution, right? The market cap hit 2 trillion again. And everybody's like, 2 trillion, wow, that's great. Well, almost 1 trillion of that's coming right from Bitcoin itself. And guess what? We're still 1%. We're not even there yet. And we'll get into some other numbers that'll kind of blow your mind. And again, I'll wait for Jeff to get here because we like to kind of banter back and forth about this stuff, which is really kind of cool as well. Look at this. Check this out. Watching from Antigua and Barbuda in the Caribbean. Beautiful, Winston. Thank you for joining tonight. I appreciate that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's make this a little bit. Is that the right one? No, that is not it. Here it is. There it is, right there. So he goes on to say that fintech companies in particular are making great strides in building both digital and physical banking products and services. Dimon said, from loans to payment systems to investing, they have done a great job in developing easy to use, intuitive, fast, and smart products. But one thing that I'll add to that is they've also done an amazing job making it less expensive. They've also, well, here's what he does. I think what he's missing is that you're the bank. I'm the bank. We are becoming the bank, right? And when the bank used to loan money, now we're going to be loaning the money. We're going to be making the money. We're going to cut out the middleman, middle woman, whatever. Let's be politically correct. We're going to cut that middle. We're going to cut it, crumble it, and toss it. Why? Because the revolution that's happening is happening with the people, right? And it's bubbling up everywhere. The geopolitical scene, everywhere from the digital scene. People are getting a little tired. They're like, waking up out of a slumber. Same as Jamie Dimon here. And he says, This in part is why the banks are playing an increasingly smaller role in the financial system. You know why they're playing a smaller role? Hint. Because they've been sleeping for a long time. You know, they were the giants of industry. They were the ones that took advantage mostly of who? The underprivileged, right? Most banks, a lot of their income is derived from a lower group of people who are fighting and struggling day to day and hitting them with overdraft fees of $35, $40, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, well, let's not get too crazy, Scott Crawford, because it's not my speed. My speed is great. There's an issue with this, like I said before, when I share my screen, there's an issue with the software that we use on a Mac. So we've discovered that. They know about it. They haven't been able to fix it. I increased my speed. I got 500 coming down. I've got 25 up. I got more than enough speed. So it's not really that. But thank you for that, Scott. Appreciate that. Thanks for looking out. Always good to be looking out. Dan, the XRP man, says, "What is up?" So let's go back and let's take a look at this again here. Let's look a little further. Holy cow, a lot of buttons here. So he says this is in part why banks are playing in this smaller role. Fintechs like Stripe, Robinhood, and PayPal have seen this growth and success. Traditional banks have significant strengths like brand economies of scale, profitability, and deep roots with their customer. Diamond acknowledges their weaknesses. Things are like inflexible legacy systems, right? And this is where we're sitting because, you know, when we talk about Swift, we talk about systems going back to 1974. You know why they didn't change them? Because it worked. Because they were making a ton of money. They didn't have to innovate. But you know the only thing that makes people take notice and innovate? Competition. Competition will always make people elevate. You know, competition in any space is great, right? Because people are fighting to be better, stronger, quicker, less expensive. Banks, how do we make more money? How do we leverage? How do we make more money? And one of the things that's so great when banks were looking at Ripple is like, okay, well, how do we make the same money but cut our cost? How does it cost less for money for us with not having Nostra Vostra accounts, right? So this all kind of plays into the whole ecosystem, and it's all part of the game. You know, Oscar's gone crazy or something, man. He's got banks going on there. There's all kinds. He's got every emoji in the house in there. So I don't know what that's all about. Jeffrey is on his way. Chimp's in the name. He's on his way. Yeah, he's running a little late from a meeting, so he's going to be here. Don't worry. And yeah, Jeff will be with us a little later. Thank you, Mr. K, for the backup. Appreciate that. Jump into a couple other stories here. I'm trying to think of some stuff we can jump into. This is an interest. I'm trying to think of what did Jeff and I got to talk about, because I know we always put a lot of these stories here. But look at this one here. EOS, is EOS the new Bitcoin? Pay attention to Peter Thiel. Although Peter Thiel may be the controversial for his outspoken political views that often clash with those of Silicon Valley type. You notice how they had to get that in there? Because Peter Thiel is not a conformist, because Peter Thiel is not go along to get along. And then they're like, oh, his ideals often clash with those. And they go, his acumen for investing in picking winning startup ideas rarely in doubt. It's one of the principal reasons that I made a pretty, a nice investment on the stock side of things, on the stock side of the house. But I made a nice little investment in Palantir because I knew about Peter Thiel. I knew about his involvement in the company, and I happen to like the guy. I read his last book. I found it to be phenomenal. So I think the guys are fantastic. So his $500,000 angel investment in Facebook turned into a post-IPO fortune. Can you imagine that? Well, so our idea is like, we're going to put people on the internet, and then they're going to, we'll call it Facebook. And he's like, all right, yeah, here's 500 grand, right? Because remember Peter Thiel coming out. He's one of the PayPal, what they call the PayPal mafia, right? He was one of those, and they all went on to really great things. I mean, Elon Musk is another one. You have the startup founder from LinkedIn. They all went on to do great things. He previously voiced his support for Bitcoin, but then PayPal's co-founder recent move to support Block.one, the developer behind EOS, raised a record $4 billion during its offering, which should come as no surprise to the industry enthusiast. His bullish attitude toward the sector has seen him strategically invest across the blockchain ecosystem the past few years. So it's exactly what he's been doing. He's been checking stuff, but he has been kind of laying low as of late. He hasn't really been out there doing stuff. And the fact that he invested in Block.one, which is the company for Iacio, represents the sharp departure from his other blockchain-based projects to date. He joined a high-profile investor like Mike Novogratz, and we know Novogratz because he was the guy that really kind of kept alive Ethereum, right? The Ethereum Foundation. He was the guy that kind of like put that big investment and sort of made it happen. Bitmain Technologies, more capital management. His allocation represents the changing mindset and gradual maturation of the blockchain is widely applicable platform to flourish. And I think a lot of these, a lot of the reasons you got guys like big time investors that are starting to look at blockchain, maybe they were in tech or they're starting to look at that. We see a lot of that shift start happening. And I think when we're starting to look at the ecosystem, when we go like, well, there's so much great things happening, but the numbers prove it out, right? So we look at a $2 trillion market cap. A $2 trillion market cap seems like a lot, but I'm going to pull out this stat right here. I'm going to pull this little stat right here. And this is something that's pretty amazing. Let me find it here. I know it's in my big ball of wax here. And of course I can't find it. My goodness, where is it? It must be here somewhere. Anyway, it was okay. So check this out. So according to the U.S. Treasury, SWIFT moves approximately $5 trillion, or about $1.25 quadrillion a year. That's insane, right? And that's just SWIFT, right? They're moving $5 trillion a day. That's small time. There's way more than $5 trillion a day. That's why people go like, well, where could it possibly go? And Ripple could never. Ripple and its software could never elevate XRP to anything more. It'll never go above $5 or $10. Well, bottom line is that there's a lot. And when we start talking about shifting ideals, shifting technologies, shifting mindsets, a guy like Peter Thiel, shifting the way he looks at stuff, you got other guys, that came from different industries that are starting to take a closer look. And you got someone like a Jamie Dimon, who is starting to sort of get it. He's waking up. He's like, yeah, listen, these are a threat. Why? Because he's got to tell the threat to his investors. He's got to let them know that these fintechs, but he's talking in terms of the Stripes of the world, the Plaid. If you go onto one of these apps and it says connect your bank, that's Plaid. Plaid is the one. And the nice thing about a service like that is they do all the compliance stuff. As long as you know that they're compliant, you plug it in via an API and boom, you're able to connect it. Pretty simple opportunity there for anybody looking to take advantage of that. He's talking about the surface ones, the people that like PayPal. This whole industry is going to get dwarfed. It's going to get dwarfed what's happening in blockchain right now, right? And the DeFi space. The DeFi space is maybe an infant. Maybe it's a brand new newborn. They put that little skull cap on them. They wrap them up in that little blanket and they stick them in that cute little I don't know what it is, it's like a glass little thing, and they stick them in there, and they just look super happy, like a little pea. They got that little beanie on, like a pink or a green or a blue beanie. That's what DeFi is. DeFi is just got born last night. It's just very new, and I don't think a guy like Jamie Dimon even has a clue of what's coming down the pike. I think he's going to be so miffed by it. So we started talking a little bit about big tech. Check this out. Does this, I want to hear from you guys. Does this blow your mind a little bit? Let's look at this right here. Let's look at this headline. Facebook does not plan to notify 500 million users affected by a data leak. Now, you might have got wind of this. I think it happened yesterday. Maybe it was today. I always forget when I'm consuming news. They didn't notify more than 530 million users whose details were obtained through the misuse of a feature before the 2019 and recently made public in a database. So people are out there on the dark web basically surfing your information, right? And you're like, well, I don't really use Facebook anytime. Oh, really? But you signed up for it a long time ago. You don't use it anymore, but unless you deleted your account, and even if you deleted your account, does it mean anything? Sup, Andrew Nation? Sup? What's up, John Doe Crypto? So people think well, I don't even use a chip. I mean, what's the big deal? Listen, it's a big deal, right? So they don't want to notify anybody. This was last week. Phone numbers and other details from users' profiles were available in a public database. So just how dangerous this is. Someone's looking for your phone number. Someone's going through and they're finding your name. They're finding personal details about you. A lot of stuff. And so the reason to bring this up is they want to talk about this. Like it's like, it's a data breach. It happens. Come on, we don't need to notify the user. Is that where we are, 2021? A massive breach like that? And what happens with all the malicious stuff when somebody could take a phone number, your name, some other personal details about you? What can they do with that? Oh, no. But the centralized powers that be, you know what they want to talk about? They want to address the big problem, which is Bitcoin can be used for nefarious, things and people and activities, right? Meanwhile, this kind of stuff is going on, and your personal details are lifted, and they're like, it happens. What are you going to do? It's just one of those things. It's almost as if somebody scrapes a bunch of information. I mean, it didn't have financial information, but it has enough to be able to do some social engineering where you can grab a piece here, grab a piece there, and you can start doing some nefarious things, right? So that's something that I think we really ought to keep an eye on, because this whole thing is just it's troubling at best, right? I want to get into this. This is from Fidelity's Tom Jessup. We talk about this adoption. When's Main Street coming in? When are we actually going to get there? Well, we've reached the tipping point on Bitcoin adoption. Fidelity's Tom Jessup says digital assets may have turned a corner. They see this? You start seeing the big boys and big girls out there saying they may have turned a corner. It's possible, said the strategist during the Market Watch virtual event. He goes, well, it's possible. There he is right there. It's amazing. It's like these guys, they couldn't pick a better place in the house, but there's always a door. They go like, let me put the plant over here on this file cabinet. That might look all right. I don't know. We'll see. That could potentially look good. Who knows? Boom. Jeff, what's up? Jeff joined. What's up, Jeff?
Yo, what's up?
What's up?
My headset isn't working again.
Saving a good news for you, man. Well, just you can be here. I was just talking about how the Jamie Dimons of the world are waking up, realizing that Fintech is about to one-up them. The Tom Jessups of the world of Fidelity are waking up, and that data breach with Facebook, they lifted 530 users' personal information, but they're worried about the possible nefarious activities of Bitcoin. But they're like blowing up. They're like, we need to know people.
That's what we got to worry about. And I was listening to you in the car, and I said, maybe I should just keep on listening. Go check this out. I'm listening to On the Chain.
Isn't that weird? I always find it weird. Like I'm listening to you.
Logged in. It's like I'm logged in to On the Chain. It was so cool.
Sweet. Yeah, I wanted to. I'm gonna skip this story because Jeff and I got to talk about this one. Let's skip this one. I think the big story tonight, Jeff, that I wanted to address is this one right here by Rosalind Layton.
Yeah,
right there.
Oh, let me just address one thing real quick.
Please do.
Come on, man, Berserker.
Berserker's in the house. And I want to address something too. Connie Stewart says, please hit the like, the subscribe, bell notifications. Thank you, with a little cute butterfly and nice happy music. Thank you for that.
Man,
so this one, stuff. I know a lot of people are talking about this, but I think there's something bigger than this article. Okay, so Rosalind Layton, this is the second one she's penned about this case, and she really is solid. So she says, turnabout is fair play. The SEC enforcement case against Ripple reveals arbitrary, capricious treatment of XRP by agency leaders.
That's a massive statement.
That's a massive statement. And it, man,
really
that's what
statement.
She doesn't play, and she's quickly becoming one of my favorite writers because she says a lot with a few words. Like anybody, I don't know how long it took. It probably took her like 3 seconds to drop that tweet. It's taken me a couple hours to figure out how can I at least get this, like how can I get the power behind it, right? And she was able to do it pretty simply, right? It was a pretty simple sort of a thing for her. So what we're talking about here is this article that she penned in Forbes. Let me throw it up here on the screen. In the Ripple case, the SEC now is on trial, and they know it. Jeff, they know it, right? Because what's happening is I love a statement like this, getting their ass handed to them, and it is glorious.
It's crazy, man. I mean, how can you continue down a certain, track, knowing that you're in the wrong, but yet you continue arguing it? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I guess you got to keep fighting your fight, regardless of what you're doing. But at least, understand the dynamics of what you're arguing. Stand up for it. Come up with something.
Yeah, Ani loves it. She says, "I love it." Yeah, and it is a glorious thing, right? It's like this is one of the things. Go back to our December videos where Jeff and I said this is the weakest case we've seen. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, sell your bags." We're like, chill out, relax, take a deep breath.
So,
Have a
so,
yeah, just go
sell
get a
everything.
smoothie or something. Just relax. It's all gonna be okay. It's all gonna be okay.
What did you talk about so far? Let's see.
I talked about everything. Well, I talked about I'll tell you if I talked about Peter Thiel, J.P. Morgan. I talked about the old dinosaurs, about
Nice.
how they're
That's
starting
a
to
good
wake
place
up out
to
of.
start.
Yeah, well, I wanted to wake up. I wanted to kind of like build the sort of narrative of that the old guard has been put on notice. They're starting to wake up and gradually realize it. I don't still think they're there yet. They're like, oh, fintech's a threat, and they start talking about Stripe, and they start talking about, hey, listen, that's not your threat. Your threat is the fact you guys been laying low all these years and ripping people off, and people are tired of it, man. People, and I was
Yep.
saying that we're the bank now, Jeff. You're the bank. I'm the bank. They're the bank.
We're all banks. We're all banking the bank.
Yeah, so this is
Making
the
bank.
parallel. She goes, the familiar story is playing out in the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission lawsuit against cryptocurrency innovator. Like how she threw that in there, Ripple. But the buck stops with the magistrate's judge, Sarah Netburn, whose discovery hearing in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York on Tuesday exposed the SEC's unfounded and flawed arguments and some inconvenient truths for the former SEC chair, Jay Clayton, and former SEC Corporation Finance Division head, William Hinman. Wow. Lay it down. This is probably one of my favorite articles so far. Hearing showed that the case, the San Francisco fintech, was based on illogical premise. It alleged that XRP, the digital currency that Ripple uses for cross-border payments, has been an unregistered security since 2013, and that the SEC was just getting around to saying so the last day of Clayton's tenure. You like how she puts that, Jeff? The last day of the tenure. Is that a little bit silly?
Yeah, I mean, the way she's phrasing things, man, it's really spot on. I mean, it's everything that we basically been referencing, everything we've been talking about as well. None of it meshes, it just doesn't, it's not how normal things progress. I don't think, I don't know. Maybe I've been in the real world too long.
Yeah, you and your real world. You know why, Jeff? Because you're the mayor of Realville. That's why.
I'm the mayor. I am the governor of real world.
Real world governor. There you go. So
Awesome.
with this late in the game, the regulatory determination, the SEC now deems that every Ripple sale for 7 years, well, now we're going on 8, quite honestly, was an illegal securities trade. And that Ripple, the 2 top executives named in the suit with millions of retail holders, that's us, should have known this all along because, you have this telekinetic power. We should have known this all along. And even though the agency never did, due process and fair notice, they're out the window to get the case across the transom the day that Clayton walked out the door. The hearing detailed many vague, contradictory statements regulators made on cryptocurrency over the years. In 2018, Clayton told CNBC that Bitcoin is not a security, and Hinman gave a widely covered speech which he laid out how Ether was not a security. Despite debuting in the initial coin offering in 2014, with XRP, they said its status had not been determined. Trading platforms asked the SEC if XRP was a security before listing the token. The agency said, we're not going to give you a statement. We're not going to let you know. We're not going to clarify it for you. When asked whether XRP was a security, then chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading, Tarbert, in 2020 interview said, it's unclear. Stay tuned. 7 years later, Jeff. Let's see.
7 years. 7 years. But, I find it interesting, the reference back to Clayton and Hinman talking about it. One, is that in an interview that it's not, how do you have to take things at face value at some point, right? So we've been talking about this, that the SEC comes out and talks about Hester Peirce. Oh no, she was talking in front of a group and it was her own opinion. And so, now you're seeing, with Clayton, making statements, Hinman making statements, but none of them, even though they're official capacity. And when they run around to the media or large groups, you expect that since they're still sitting in that position, that they're speaking, with some level of authority. Now, if you're already that position and you're speaking, it's 100% your own opinion. But when you're in that position, unless it's predicated by this is a 100% strictly my own opinion and not me, I'm taking my SEC hat off and putting it to the side, and now I'm speaking on behalf of myself. But how do you then remove yourself from that point when he is on the CNBC as the authority?
Exactly.
That's why he's there. He's not there on behalf of himself. If he was, when he was there in the interview, he's invited because he is involved with the SEC, right? Unless I'm wrong.
Look at this right here. So Lionel says the SEC lawyer said, "You know who we are?" to the judge. I bet the judge wanted to say, "Yeah, you're clowns." I love when people make me laugh in the chat right there. But then, look, she gets real right here. This is
now they're in the chat over here. Who's this Lefa Codio, and why is this Lefa Codio still in our chat? Why is
can you guys
not been timed out? Are we there we go, boom. I did it.
Good, knock him out. Good, knock him out.
An error occurred. Come on, that's crazy.
You knock it out. So if these regular, let's get a mod on and take care of that, please. If we don't have a mod, then we're in trouble. But if these regulators were honest, this is the best statement here. If the regulators were honest, they would admit that nothing in the 1933 Securities Act refers to cryptocurrency, and then to request Congress to clarify the statute. Instead, the SEC made an unfounded determination with no warning or process. My God. You want to make an NFT of something, make an NFT of that, because that will hang forever. That is just the most gorgeous thing. If they were honest, they would tell you there's nothing in the 1933 Securities Act. They'll also tell you there's nothing having to do with the Howey test. Go ahead and take that.
There you go. XRP speedboat 1111. I love that 1111 number. But OTC with Chip and Jeff, number 1. Watching you guys with Coil extension as well. Cool. Hit that like button, please. And if you're brand new to On the Chain and you haven't done it yet, hit the subscribe button because it's really easy to find. It's in red and it says subscribe on it. Highly recommend it. And everyone else in here also does. Now, if you've already subscribed and you haven't done this yet, make sure you go in there and hit that bell notifier. That way you get notified every time we go live. It helps the channel algorithms, so to speak. And even those little thumbs up things, when you do that, that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, and you know what? I was waiting for you to say, and it's fun to click buttons.
Sweet.
It's fun to click buttons. By the way, thank you, XRP Speedboat, because right now, as the watch is happening and occurring, he's streaming little micro payments, or she, I don't know, is streaming little micro payments, and we get emails say, hey, somebody streamed them. And that's why I say, if you want to really support creators in the space, especially the XRP space, everyone has Coil integrated with their YouTube content, and it's kind of nice. So if you want to do it, it's $5 a month, man. You go to Coil, $5. It takes $5 as you're watching these videos, and I like to watch it on my Puma browser. And Puma, I got to say they're amazing because I was having one issue, and I actually got that resolved today via Zoom chat. It was really cool. I was like my go-to thing, and I'm really a big fans of what they're building over there, and I'm excited to see what they have coming up. It's going to be pretty cool.
Says I'm lagging a little bit.
You're lagging a little bit tonight, Jeff. I thought it was me, and I didn't want to say anything because I'm kind of good.
Lagging about 20 minutes getting in here.
Well, that too, you laggard. You laggard. I didn't want to say anything.
I was thinking about on the way over here. I was listening to you. I said, it's so difficult to take, to go from one event and then come over here, and I'm trying to get that out of my head.
I know you were low aged.
And then I was confronted in the middle of my event. What's that?
You were confronted?
Yeah, well, I kind of knew it was coming, but there was a little, turmoil between a few people, and I knew about it, and I tried to settle it, and I said, look, you guys got to work it out. Our meeting isn't going to be the right platform for this, and we had the chairperson from the county and, committee person, and we had all these people there in this event, and other heads of groups and whatnot. And of course the thing was brought up, and then here I am. I was sitting because I had some other speaker up at the time, and when that came up, I had to get up, and then I had to just put it in its place. But then as I was leaving, the county chair came over to me and said, hey, great job handling that, outstanding. And the committee person came over and said, hey, that was a really good way of handling that. Like, man, what?
I like punching people in the throat.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
you're lagging. This is very strange for me. I'm like, I don't know what to make of it, really. It seems awful weird. I just want to get through a little bit more of this because I think it's really interesting stuff. Judge Netburn ordered the SEC to produce all communications related to Bitcoin and Ether where a third party was involved, any formal internal documents expressing the agency's interpretation or views on cryptocurrency, and to deliver them to Ripple. She granted most of Ripple's motion, which we're already familiar with. These disclosures could bring new headaches to scandal-plagued Apollo Capital Management, which we know our buddy Jay Clayton over there joined when he left the SEC, ostensibly to clean up the mess left by Leon Black and his links to Jeffrey Epstein. What?
That's getting to be too much. Yo, big shout out to Reg Mabry over here. SEC attorneys should be held in contempt for misstatements that are bordering on lies.
Yeah, and it really does expose. Reg, good call. It really does. It's like full Monte exposure right there, right? So the timing of the lawsuit on Clayton's last day, the subsequent hiring by a crypto-focused hedge fund, are very curious coincidences. Conflict of interest concerns could also intensify for him, and now back at his own firm, Simpson Thatcher. Now, if you remember, Deaton also brought this to light, Crypto Eddie as well. Paid him $1.6 million annual pension while he worked at the SEC.
I like that
but
gig.
they don't get into the $15 million he had connected to that IPO that happened begins with a C and ends with an A. You got to be careful.
What are you talking about?
It could be Jeff. I'm not going to get into that.
An I in it?
Possibly. I don't know. It's
Can
all.
I buy an N?
You might be able to buy an N. You might be able to buy an N. I know somebody got their video taken down today. The guy has the velvet voice got his video taken down because he said something kind of. Well, anyway, we'll get to that. Yeah, so he's back with this. So there's all this stuff. Gensler's going to be confirmed as an SEC chairman. Will take the helm when there's that word is racing ahead with a closed ledger digital currency threatening to unseat the dollar. It's all getting very weird, Jeff, and it's like so funny. It's like, and meanwhile, that's one of those things where you like, you start going into an argument and you realize you've lost as soon as you've opened your mouth, but you just keep fighting to be right. Oh, I'm right, but no, I have all this.
Yeah, as long as you come out and get the last
but
word.
Jeff, you cheated in that golf game 8 years ago when we were playing. It's like, what? 8 years ago, Jeff, we were playing. I saw you took a mulligan. What? I didn't take a mulligan. I saw you, man. It's like, well, let's go back 8 years, So she nails it pretty well in these articles, man. I got to say, she does
she's pretty spot on, good analysis, good viewpoint on how she's interpreting it. I think overall, it's really, it's solid. I'll tell you something else, just as a side note, put all that aside. This is interesting because, as, we're getting that kind of, thought process. And here we kind of know, where the SEC is trying to take things. Oh, look at this. Why is it locking up on me? It won't let me share it. Am I frozen?
No, you're not frozen, but you're like,
really bizarre.
You know what? Why don't you jump out? Why don't you jump out and come on back in real quick? Because
the whole thing is
pixelated.
Is no longer responding.
Hey, bring your camera down.
Responding. Goodbye.
Yeah, listen, Jeff, jump out, come back in. Drop your camera quality down to the next one. That should work. Now I think he's frozen. Let me just let me remove him out of here until he gets it together. I think he's going to have to pop out and come back in. Hey, look at this. Isn't it funny when you see these stories right here? Now you got to realize this is penned on. There he goes. Let's see if you got him back here. How we doing, Jeff? Nope. How we doing? Whoa.
Hey, I think you infected me with like some, South Florida, virus, internet virus.
I did not do that, Jeff. I would never do that. But you're still in here from the other one.
Like lagging.
Now your mic's missing. No, you're still in here. I don't know how to add you. Like you're in.
Can you hear me?
I can, but it's all like it's like not your microphone.
Oh, let me check. Hang on.
Your mic's not there.
Oh, that's why. Audio check.
Check. Sounds like you're like check on the audio. Check on the audio. This is so weird. Jeff never lags.
I don't.
This is like
Lagger.
says it's like the plot of the ring,
Lagger.
except the curse is lag. The curse is lagging around. That's a pretty good one. The Ring. Oh, that movie was freaky, man. That movie will wake you up in parts, man. You'd be like, whoa, you know.
Whoa, where were we?
I'll tell you, we're right here, man. Check this out. Behind closed doors, the U.S.
I don't believe
is quietly backing a replacement global currency, right? Well,
and
this is
you know
what I'm saying.
It is? XRP.
Well, look, the U.S. dollar reset has been triggered. Well, here's the thing about this thing. It's on Medium.
Oh, there's a dollar.
It's just someone's blog on Medium, right? So everyone's been like passing this around today. That's what I wanted to bring it up here. It's called Entrepreneur's Handbook, but I could have Entrepreneur's Review, and I open it up, and for $50 I connect it. It's like they start look, but it's funny, Jeff, because they start getting the quick history.
The SDR, the history of
there's the quick history of the SDR, and then 2013, and then silence, and then I'm
rise of the SDR.
I'm like, get out of here, you nuts, you nutters.
The SDR still exists. There's no revival. It's actually there.
Yeah,
and the IMF does not have the funding to bail out all these countries that are going to need to be bailed out. Not going to happen. What is up, X Super Car?
See, it's XRP there. X Super Car in between. XRP Supercar, $10 super sticker. Appreciate that, man.
Good eye.
If you are lagging, your energy's off, man. I'm gonna start banning you from attending those meetings. You cannot attend those meetings anymore.
I agree.
And that's a purple screen. We have a purple screen. There's nothing showing.
You don't see that?
No. Oh, I see it now. It's just lagging.
Oh man.
It took like 4 or 5 seconds to upload.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Let me see if I got that article somewhere.
Look at this. We've reached a tipping point on Bitcoin adoption. But I think it goes well beyond Bitcoin, but it's fidelity. So the tipping point is that it's really, that's it, man. We're over the hump to where there's a point of no return. And so even, you're getting so much of this coming out of Fidelity. This is a strategist. Digital assets may have turned a corner in traditional finance.
Did we just do that stuff in my crazy town?
What's that?
We already talked about Jessup. That was the first thing we were talking. Were we talking about that when you came in?
Come on, man.
Man, you are so off today, Jeff. I don't know what's going on. It's so.
We didn't talk about this. I wasn't here when we
talked about Jessup. I talked about Jessup and his right here. I had this Jessup story up right here.
Oh, well,
my screen,
I'm talking about it again. Let me talk about something. Oh, look at this, man.
Everything. Still my screen, by the way.
You know what's really disappointing?
Your screen share. I still don't see it.
Can you see it?
No. Tell me what you want to share. I'll put it up.
Oh, you see it now?
No.
You see it now?
No. Nope. Tell me what you want to share. I'll put it up there.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there yet?
We're losing viewers, Jeff.
Oh, come on.
What do you want to tell me? What you want to put on there? So which story?
What was I going to talk about? Amex is cutting access to the Centurion Lounge for guests.
Why?
That's all. I don't know. I saw this article and I said, oh my God, this is like the end of the world as we know it. If you have an Amex Platinum card and you're traveling, if you go on Delta, you can get into the Delta Lounge. But normally with your Amex Platinum card, if you go to like JFK or in California and some other parts of the country, they have a Centurion Lounge that's dedicated to Amex holders, Platinum and
Centurions
and Centurion, the black card.
Okay.
And you can get into the lounge. So little by little, they've been changing. I don't know. It's not even really that relevant. But
well, no one flies anymore, so I think it's like I don't think there's a. I think that's part of the issue.
Making it better instead of worse. I don't know.
Yeah. So here we go again. Here's some more news from our favorite crypto enforcer. She used to be known as Crypto Mom. The U.S. is behind the curve on crypto regulation, says SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce.
There we go. That's the other one.
There we go.
This is just her own opinion, though. Just need to put that statement out there. She's not saying this on behalf of the SEC.
Nope. And no, they talk about Commissioner Peirce, but she's not acting in an official capacity. No. Listen to this. I mean, Jeff, I almost want to. I don't know if I should laugh or cry when I read this statement. I think we're certainly falling behind the curve. Said Hester Peirce.
Yeah, not just falling, but
I mean, what planet is she living on, man?
Dude, look at that.
XRP to the moon. And then that's like money on the tongue right there, boys and girls. I mean, she's absolutely I mean, the more she talks, I'm starting to think this is just a clown show, man. It really is starting to get pathetic. It's like she's out there. We need to do more. We should be better. We can do this. And meanwhile, the two. We had that story last night about the two biggest lobbyist groups, blockchain associations, that have not said a word, not one word about library. The SEC coming after them. Nothing about Ripple, but they're making. No, it doesn't make any sense.
That's the topic they should be talking about. And even, I mean, I get it, she's involved in this whole thing, but this is still, I mean, overall, it's a strong statement, but look at what she says right there. It's not up to the SEC. Look who it's up to. Congress. That's it.
But then if it's up to Congress, what are you doing sticking your nose where it doesn't belong then? That's what I want to know.
Because she's being interviewed or something, and she's giving her personal opinion.
You know what happened? The 24-hour news cycle destroyed everything. Everyone's got to be out there talking and yip-yapping like us every night. Here we are. We're just two regular schmoes, right? It was so funny. Jeff and I were talking today, and I said something like, I go, yeah, right, Jeff. What did I say? I said something funny. It was something about us jibber-jabbering on YouTube. And I was saying something to the point. So look at this. She noted that private stable coins or cryptocurrencies that aim to peg their value to some other asset, like maybe the US dollar, could serve the same role as a government-backed digital currency. Roll out the slow clap, Jeff.
Are
we in crazy town?
We are, because Sir John, I had to put that comment. It kind of fit into the narrative of what we're talking about here. OTC without technical difficulties wouldn't be OTC, but some generic mediocre crap show.
Damn right, Sir John. I mean, thank you, God, for saying that. You're right. It might just be some just average, run-of-the-mill garbage show, but no, thanks to our technical difficulties, and it is semi. I'm not gonna knock it on wood right here. It's semi-refreshing to not be that guy. I've been trying to monitor my stuff,
Yeah, it could be this, Chip.
Me. It could be. Look at this right here. Putin Serial says it makes total sense that those lobby groups are founded by companies who kiss the SEC's ring. They won't dare question the SEC. They will lobby to those who won't put them in the crosshairs. And you're right about that. That's a really good statement, because we talked about following the money. Where's the money come from? BTC Maxis. No, don't defend it. They don't realize that they are also on trial, though. They do not. Look at this. Oscar says that XRP Supercar is on fire. Fire, baby. Fire.
Man, awesome, man. It's great to see, this new involvement in the OTC community.
It really is. And John Doe Crypto says we should start a lobby coin where, based on proof of stake, the issues are pushed to the forefront of lobbyists.
And you know what? But he brings up an interesting point, though. There needs to be a larger lobbying effort on behalf of the community at large. So you have like the Blockchain Association, right? Centralized lobbyist group that's on Capitol Hill raising funds to do whatever they do in their lobbyist fashion. But imagine, being that we're in this decentralized kind of economic space, decentralized being the focal point here, the focal word, why don't we have some form of a decentralized lobby effort to bring attention to Congress and others that, hey, this space is not just legit because you can see what's going on in the mainstream, right? You see what's happening with the Fidelities and the Morgan Stanleys and JP Morgan, and the idea of the tipping point that we're beyond, that you have JP Morgan strategists, analysts talking about $140,000 Bitcoin, others talking about 400,000, others talking about 1 million. The cat's out of the bag. We know we're moving in a direction, but how do we allow, this type of, lack of understanding to continue to exist on Capitol Hill, man? I mean, it's mind-boggling. And we really do need, like John Doe's talking about, why not have a lobbyist coin, which is incentivizing people in the community to lobby? Hey, you know what? You reach out to your congressperson, you get a little bit of lobby coin.
But it might be DOA, Jeff. The way things are going, it might not go. By the way, XRP Panic is sending thoughts and prayers for your.
Set up a lobby coin node.
By the way, you just froze when you looked at that, which made this statement on the screen even funnier. Thoughts and prayers for Jeff's internet connection. Me as a meme. I remember the beginnings of just a dozen people watching live. So glad you guys made it to the point of being a relevant channel with worldwide public. Yeah, Sir John, really appreciate it, man. You were one of the OGs one of the originals, man. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us. We really appreciate it, because there were the days where we were pretty lean. It was like Sir John and two other people.
Lean and mean.
But it was good though. I mean, it's really cool, and it's great, man. I'm really happy with the growth, but I love the crowd, man. I mean, really, the OTC community is a special community. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it.
We should have a moment of silence.
We should have a moment of silence. Hang on a second. Wait, he's not being silent. He's just frozen, right? That's how it is.
Am I frozen? Am I still frozen?
No.
Oh,
but it's just fun. It's fun to laugh about. These are some of the funny moments. Let's put this up
check
here.
this out. So April 14th. So April 14th, Coinbase is going to, the coin stock will officially be released through their direct listing. And so there was some valuation. We talked about it yesterday, right? That $1.8 billion valuation for Q1, which was just a little tiny 3-time increase from Q4, which is pretty big. But what's interesting is that now they're moving the price target from $195, there you go, to $440. Now it's putting some money aside to say, let me get a little bit of that coin. But man, I don't think it's going to happen now. I'm not in that game of 440. The downside of it could go up to 500 when it opens. The downside could be, 195.
Yeah. Well, that's what always happens with a lot of things. I remember, like, the Facebook IPO. I know a lot of these ones. Like everybody gets in, gets excited, it goes up, it comes down. But I mean, I don't know, man. There's so much great stuff going on, and there's so much great stuff going on in the crypto world. I don't even know if I have time. I want to throw this one up here. This was tweeted out by Crypto Law, and Crypto Law actually put out the transcript from the other day which is awesome. I prefer to sometimes read through it. I like listening, but I can read a lot better, just look through stuff than listening to a whole thing. And the transcript is out there. So if you go to Crypto Law US, at Crypto Law US, you can download the transcript if you want to just read through it. If you missed a lot of the hearing, you might enjoy reading it. He said, so from the transcript of the hearing on discovery before Judge Netburn, what excerpts did you find? Read the full transcript in our document library. And then he pulled out this little gem. This is the court. Couple quick clarifying questions. You distinguished the speech in Mr. Hinman's speech, suggesting it was not a pronouncement, but rather just a speech that referenced Bitcoin. And so is it? Did the SEC take a position that as of a certain date, its position was official as to Bitcoin and Ether? Mr. Bliss, SEC. So I want to make this clear to all the understanding of this current situation. And I don't want to be overly technical, but the SEC itself, my understanding, it's not taken, here we go again, Jeff, the official position. There is no action that it took any Bitcoin stated Bitcoin is not a security, and Ether is not a security. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin maxis are partying like it's 1999. They're getting all excited. They're having a great time. They're like, you guys have the the SH coin, coin.
Oh my God, it's so crazy.
And the SEC's coming out saying, hey, you're not skating clear here.
There you go. This case is such a cluster. It's not even funny. Oscar's spot on. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. I mean, you the more you hear about this stuff, and again, we just talked about it. It was in that article. We reference it. It was on CNBC, coming out and is invited on because of his official capacity representing the SEC. Hey, we're bringing on the SEC guy.
We're going to ask some questions.
But you know what? The court's right, though. I mean, the court is right from that. But the only perspective, when did the SEC come out and make an official statement that said, this is our official policy on Bitcoin and Ether, that we deem it not to be a security? They never came out with that official statement. So from that perspective, I guess they're right. But from the other perspective, what the hell are you talking about?
Right. And so, one of the things we brought up the whole idea that this, Coinbase, you brought up Coinbase in their disclosures kind of said, well, look, I mean, 2021 could be a rough year. We really don't know. It could be something where it could be very much like 2018. Well, I don't think it's anything like 2018, because Robinhood, for example, check out this right here. This is incredible. Do you want to grab that first?
What's that? No, I was just going to put a statement up as you were talking about that, but let your yes be yes and your no be no. The SEC doesn't have this for sure, but it all goes back to it all depends on what your definition of no is.
Well,
Remember,
it
somebody
depends.
famous once said that.
I remember that, Jeff. I'm not going to say
All
that, but
depends on what your that definition of no is. There you go.
so Robinhood says, look at this. Robinhood says that 9.5 million people traded crypto on its app in Q1. In Q4 of just 3 months ago, when it ended, it was 1.7. It's up 458%. Man, you want to talk about adoption? You want to talk about
Massive.
people flooding? You want to talk about the millennials coming to the the crypto space? And the funny part about it is they don't even own their crypto, really. You can't move your keys off there, but it just goes to show you, look, 458%, Jeff, is like a massive big deal.
It's
I mean,
huge.
it's huge, it's
It's a
huge. And then
huge
I thought I'd
movement.
bring this up, Jeff, because this is something fun that you like to talk about. This is like one of your favorite things.
Favorite.
Um, this is so hang on a second. You got to be able to read this. Ready? Let's this up. So Brad Garlinghouse said, making crypto run on 100% renewables is a big, hairy, audacious goal, but it can be done. Congrats to the Crypto Climate Association on
It'll be
today's
done
launch.
at some point.
And I liked it better when he was saying today's a good day. That's that's the kind of tweets that I really like that he puts out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, today was a good day.
And that Ripple is doing well, and that they're building out the ODL, and that that all sorts of money is going to use ODL, and they're going to love the XRP ledger,
That's
and
exactly
they need
right.
XRP to make it happen, and all those good things. Oh, you know what? One of my main Wi-Fi points is down.
Oh, there you go. Look at this. XRP
If I do a
speedboat.
refresh, it's going to take me offline. That's
No, we're
why.
almost done, Jeff.
And I keep having that problem with that one Wi-Fi point. I don't know what happens.
Well, I don't know. You're out. But anyway, he said when I must have leaned in by mistake, and I just freaked him out. So I don't do that more often. I might
Going to headbutt. Boom, headbutt.
Yeah, is it too late to get?
Is it too late to sign up with John Deaton's charge leading the 11,000 XRP army against the SEC?
Look, it doesn't matter whether you signed up or not, because whether you're part of that or not, you're part of it, right? So he's representing all. Those are the people that actually signed signed up, put their name. But look, let's make it clear that everybody's part of that. I mean, I'd read it by John, but I believe that, look, that this is just the preliminary. There's 11,000 names. There's hundreds of thousands of names that could have been on there. It just wasn't enough time to get them all together. So KT1, I don't think you really missed the boat, but thank you for that. Really appreciate that. I don't think it's too late necessarily. I mean, to get in on that particular signing, yeah, probably. But again, the way he's putting this together, this is representing the XRP investment community at large. It's not just it's not a one and done type of a thing. So don't worry about that. Hey, look at this. JR Dubose says, glad I discovered your channel. And guess what, Jeff? So are we, JR. Appreciate that. Hopefully you subbed to the channel.
Yeah, if you haven't
really
subbed
cool.
yet, hit that subscribe button.
And if you haven't frozen yet, then it means you're not Jeff or I. That's what it means.
Right. Frozen.
That's what it means. So I just wanted to.
So my last speed check, 447 down, 24 up, but it's all because of the one Wi-Fi spot. And I've got 3 Wi-Fi spots in the house.
Got the mesh.
3 of them.
You got mesh.
KT1. One's down. It's probably my most important one.
Hang on a second, Jeff. We got super sticker coming in from KT1. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, guys. Always appreciate everyone's support.
2 in a row.
It's just really fantastic, man. Having you guys in here, and everything doesn't always go smooth, and sometimes that'll happen. I mean, we play that video every once in a while because that was a real thing that happened on one of our shows, and you guys, the ones who were there, got to enjoy it. But yeah, it was kind of a silly thing. But I just want to say, look, it's Thursday night, so that means we're going to be off tomorrow night. However, Jeff will be streaming Saturday morning. I'm going to get the day right, Jeff. Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. That's New York, Miami time. And he always puts together something really awesome. And then we'll be back on Sunday night.
Awesome.
And then we're looking to get some cool people on the show too. Timing is an issue right now, but we're looking to get some guests on here too that can kind of talk about some cool tech. So that's something we're looking for.
That would be pretty cool. When is the merchandise hitting? Jackie wants to know. Well, I ordered some, and so hopefully I'll actually get what I ordered, and then we get to test out the quality of said merchandise. And as long as it passes muster, then we'll go live with the merch store.
That's funny right there.
What's that?
Says Brad Garlinghouse is not building a growing house. Don't use talk to text.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's some good stuff, man. I mean, the comments are great. Can't wait for the merch. Yeah, you know what?
You guys are fantastic.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, Running Size. Thank you very much. You guys have a great weekend too. Listen, always too, it's so weird. Like on Fridays, I start seeing news things and I get excited about it because I go, oh, I can't wait to talk. Oh, wait a minute, I don't have to talk to. And Jeff will say his story. Check this out.
There you go, Chip. I survived the me moment.
Me.
That might be I like that, sure. We're trying to figure out the me. So there you go.
I survived the me
moment. People are like, what the heck does that mean?
You know what that is? That's a niche inside of a niche. That's like a personal joke wrapped inside of an enigma, stuffed and tucked deep into a like one-offer type of joke. That's like really down deep, man. That's like beyond rabbit holes. I don't even know what that is. That's something great, man.
That's
David
funny.
R wants to know if I can Photoshop. What's the Photoshop Pro? Please give Chip's hair and make Chip bald. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun to explore that, wouldn't it? I'm still waiting for the picture of Jeff when he told me he had hair down to his, his shoulder and stuff. I'm still waiting for that picture.
I gotta find it. When I locate that picture, I will share it with you.
Because I had the long hair back in the day too. I had the long hair, man. It was like great, and it was always weird. Like you'd be like eating something like a sandwich or something, and be like, oh, there's a hair in this, and I'd be like, oh, and then I'd realize, oh, it's attached to my head. Okay. It was like you don't have those days when you don't have to worry about it anymore,
Yeah. So hey, we're gonna be planning another on the chain sponsored meetup in the near future. We'll get you in on that, and we'll let you know all about the plans for the next on the chain meetup. The last one went great. It's already been a couple of weeks. I can't believe how time flies.
Can't believe it.
All those who were there had a phenomenal time. But like Chip was just saying, we stream 6 days a week. Monday, Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That
you are out of sync today, dude.
I feel like I've only been on for like 30 minutes. What's going on?
Because you have been.
And I have been. Shoot.
By the way, Berserker keeps passing around these rumors that I'm going to shave my head. I got news for you guys. I'm not shaving it, okay?
He's shaving it when XRP goes to 589.
No, I mean, 589. I might take that one because I'd be cool with shaving it.
89 cents.
But no, man, I will wear a skull cap though. I might do that. Just wear a skull cap for fun, tuck it all away.
Yeah.
But I would like to Photoshop. We should do that. We should do the reverse one. We'll make me bald. We'll make you. I'll put myself and your theme, and then we'll do that. That'll be kind of a fun thing we could flash up there.
That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet.
Guys, keep the good ideas coming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That would be funny, says K HUD. There was something else in here that I wanted to throw up here. Any chance of Jay Clayton shave his head on the show? That asking for a friend. That would be fun.
Cool too. We'll have to invite him on and ask him.
That would be a really fun. Let me see. I want to find one. Look at this right here. Robert Moore says, hey, I enjoy the energy of the show, and we enjoy the energy in the chat, man, because you guys always bring it every single day. On the chains, keychains. Holy cow, that makes a lot of sense.
Huh. Oh, no.
On the chain, says Johnny X. What you got there? Sorry, there.
Oh, yeah, John. Yeah, we do need to get on the chain keychains. That'd be awesome. Don't know if they have them over there. We got to figure that out. But Oscar's already done the Photoshop.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got to see this. Oscar's pretty good with the Photoshop, too. We got to see this, Oscar. You're going to have to, you might have to, why don't you ping us? Why don't you hit us, and then we'll do retweets of that, but hit Jeff and I on there. He's always like ahead of it. He's like sinister. He's like, I'll make it happen right now. And he's like, hee. And I know what he's doing. He's laughing his ass off. He's like, while he's like doing it,
the Beavis laugh.
Yeah. All right. Let's end this puppy, guys. Thanks so much for being here. We really love it. We'll see you guys back here. Well, Jeff will see you back here Saturday morning. Jeff and I will be back on Sunday evening during the roundtable. That's all I know. Jeff, you got anything?
That's it. I can't wait. Let's get out of here.
Let's do it. See you guys on the next one. Take care.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.